Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally completely shifted my perspective on physical mobility. Now, if you think a 43-minute stretching routine is just about passively pulling on tight hamstrings and, hoping for the best, well, think again. Today, we're breaking down a routine by Yoga with DJ that isn't just a stretch, it is an absolute biomechanical masterclass in nervous system safety. We're going to learn exactly how to unlock the front splits and that elusive pancake stretch. Okay, let's dive into this, because the most surprising and honestly inspiring part of DJ's journey is the number 42. He started his flexibility journey at exactly that age. He's 47 now, and in just 5 years, he achieved flawless front splits and the pancake stretch. It completely proves that deep flexibility is totally achievable regardless of when you begin. It's not about youth, right? It's about the method.
So how exactly do we get there? Well, here's our roadmap. First, the secret to flexibility. 2, preparing upper body mechanics. 3, stabilizing the pelvis. 4, unlocking the front splits. 5, conquering the pancake stretch. And finally, 6, the flexibility mindset.
Let's start with section 1, the secret to flexibility, earning body trust.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that there's a totally counterintuitive truth to flexibility. See, when your muscles are tight and weak, your pelvis becomes unstable. And because of this instability, your nervous system literally panics. It thinks you're going to get hurt, so what does it do? It tightens those muscles even further to protect you. It's like a built-in defense mechanism. But when you strengthen those muscles, the nervous system suddenly feels safe. It finally says, okay, phew, I can let go now. You don't just aggressively pull at muscles, you have to strengthen them to earn your nervous system's trust.
Moving right along to section 2, preparing upper body mechanics.
Before we even think about touching the legs, we actually have to prep the upper body. DJ's routine starts with some really simple, highly repetitive motions. First up is the fist in open, which is literally just opening and closing your hands up to 100 times. It protects your wrists and strengthens your forearms for weight-bearing poses, like downward dog. Next, we've got band pulls for your rotator cuff. Now, why the rotator cuff? Well, because strengthening it improves your thoracic spine alignment and, amazingly, your breathing capacity. And when you breathe better, your overall tension, even all the way down in your hips, starts to disappear.
As incredible as it sounds, 5 is the number of years DJ has gone without a single wrist injury. Why? Simply because he does that fist and open exercise every single day. Consistency truly is your armor.
Let's move to section 3 and see how this builds, stabilizing the pelvis.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we start building that crucial nervous system safety right at the center of our legs. Before any deep stretching happens, DJ methodically warms up and stabilizes. You've got downward dog knee lifts with a resistance band, clamshells to really fire up those glutes, side leg lifts for pelvic stability, hamstring bridges, and he makes a great point here, you have to actively tuck the tailbone to avoid cramping. And finally, single leg reverse Nordics to strengthen the psoas muscle. You are essentially turning on the structural support system for your hips.
All right, section 4, unlocking the front splits, active range technique. Now that the body is prepped, stabilized, and, most importantly, feels safe, we can move into the half split. When you actually enter the half split, DJ introduces a really specific, grounded technique called active range. So instead of just passively letting gravity pull your hips down toward the floor, you actively push your front heel and your back toes into the ground. You squeeze them together almost like a pair of scissors. You hold this tension for a few seconds to fully engage the hamstring and hip flexor, and then you completely relax. Contract, then release. It is a profound way to trick the nervous system into letting go.
Which brings us to section 5, conquering the pancake stretch, the forward fold goal.
So, the crucial point is the anterior pelvic tilt. This stretch is the ultimate goal of the routine, folding your upper body completely flat onto the floor between your straddled legs. But to get a flat pancake, you have to lengthen your spine and tilt your pelvis forward, creating a nice C-curve in the hips. DJ emphasizes actively practicing this tilt. You rock forward into the anterior tilt and then backward into a posterior tilt, over and over. Mastering this specific biomechanical movement is what finally unlocks the hips for that deep forward fold.
Okay, once you've got that pelvic tilt engaged, you don't just dive headfirst for the floor. No way. You begin a methodical 6-step passive pancake descent. First, you rest your forehead on a stacked fist. Then, as your body allows, 2 flat palms. Then 1 palm. Then the forehead goes directly to the ground. Then the chin, then the chest, and finally the belly. DJ's golden rule here is to embrace your body exactly wherever it currently is.
Breathe for 10 counts at your specific level. Don't force the range, earn the range.
Finally, Section 6, the flexibility mindset, safe and sustainable.
As we kind of cool down here, we really have to look at the overarching philosophy that makes this entire routine safe, sustainable, and actually effective. And it boils down to this absolutely fantastic quote from DJ. Motion is always lotion. After all that deep static stretching, you have to move around. He finishes by swinging his hips and dropping into deep squats. This active movement reinforces to your brain that you actually own this new range of motion. You aren't just stuck there, you can move dynamically within it. And that is exactly how you build long-term bodily trust. So ask yourself this, are you ready to strengthen your body to earn your nervous system's trust? Because flexibility isn't about forcing your muscles to stretch through pain. It's about making them feel safe enough to release on their own. Try out those fist and opens, master that anterior pelvic tilt, and start earning that trust today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.